time to give you your daily dose of sports and cars. Well, and if you are in the market for the new SUV, we've got you covered. Our team from Overdrive has reviewed the 2025 Škoda Kylaq and we are breaking it down for you. The Kylaq is safe as usual with a 5-star B and CAP rating and 7 airbags as well. Prices for the Škoda Kylaq start from 7.89 lakhs and go up to all the way to 14.40 lakh as well. From driving experience to features and safety, here's a lowdown.
I'm sure by now you know everything that there is to know about the Škoda Kylaq, but this is Škoda's most important model for India yet. So let's get right down to driving it and see what it's really like out in the real world. The Kylaq is the third car to come from the MQB A0iN family after the Slavia and Kylaq. So it shares most of its components with those cars, but with changes made for this more compact package. Now if you're looking for that SUV-like experience from behind the wheel, even in this compact package, so the Kylaq immediately has you covered. All the controls are very easy to reach. Like I mentioned, the buttons are very tactile. So getting used to this car is very simple. And you also have that big flat bonnet out in front of you. So again, with its compact dimensions, placing this in traffic or just on the road is really quite simple. And then of course you have these seats. We've spent a lot of time driving Škoda cars and thankfully they haven't really messed with the seats, and genuinely we've already done close to 100 kilometers today and we show no signs of fatigue. The Škoda Kylaq can be had with the now familiar 1-litre turbo petrol with its 116 PS and 175 Nm. This puts it right in the ballpark of the other turbo petrols in this segment, although there is no naturally aspirated option. The gearbox options are straightforward too. You have a 6-speed manual or the Aisin-sourced 6-speed torque converter. But the differences show on the move. Škoda has over time made a lot of improvements to it since when the Kylaq came out, and by now it really does show. Yes, on the outside it's still a bit clattery, it doesn't sound great, and you do notice the seat back sometimes shaking, but when you start moving off the line, all of those vibrations, those things that sort of took away from the otherwise premium driving experience, all of that has been definitely brought under control. It's much tighter now, it's much more refined now. So like we've seen before, it gets off the line easily enough. There is enough low-end performance. So say when you're driving the manual, you're driving the automatic now, but we spent a lot of time driving the manual. So when you are driving the manual, you have enough low-end torque to sort of not get bogged down in traffic. And in the automatic, yeah, you have that sense of linear performance throughout. So yeah, you really start getting that boost say at about 1700 RPM, and then it really hits its stride at say over 3,500 RPM. But in regular driving you won't really be going there. So within the mid-range where you will spend a lot of time, it has that punch, it has that sort of get up and go that you need in an everyday city car. The manual harnesses this performance, and the one enthusiasts should look towards. The motor's responses are sharper with this gearbox. It also helps that Škoda has tuned this gearbox well. Yes, the clutch travel is a bit too long, but it engages smoothly. The lever falls to hand easily and it's easy to slot into gears without too much guidance. The action has a crisp nature as well. The low-end torque also means that in traffic you don't need to change gears too often. The Kylaq takes speed breakers easily enough in second gear. Further on, the tall gearing means that it could have been more enjoyable to skip through the gears, but the SUV is usually not very stressed at higher speeds. Škoda has also done work on making the automatic a bit nicer to use. So yes, it still stutters a bit at low speeds and the crawl is still brisk, but both less so than before. You also notice that shifts are better managed. That said, it's still not as sharp as some of the DCTs in this segment. You do have to plan for slower reactions during heavy throttle inputs. The sport mode does make things a bit sharper and the paddle shifters are quicker still. But you find that it upshifts automatically before the red line or won't give you a high rev downshift. But for most users, the gearbox does the job.